Trish, Dave, in the last few months, there have been a few candidate forums, some candidates throwing out accusations about the sheriff and the way he spends his money. Sheriff Winters hasn't really responded to much of that criticism until now. You've probably driven past the billboards and seen the ads on TV.
As your sheriff, I will be open and responsive to our community.
While these are typical of any election, the race for Jackson County Sheriff has been full of controversy, a criminal investigation, and what some call dirty politics. The three candidates include Deputy Chief Corey Falls of the Ashland Police Department, Lieutenant Bob Sergi, who works for the sheriff's office, and the current sheriff, Mike Winters, who's been in office for 12 years. His opponents think it's time for a change.
I think a fresh set of eyes on something always helps, and this is the timing. I believe that it is time for a fresh set of eyes, something different for Jackson County.
Deputy Chief Falls was born and raised in the Rogue Valley and worked for the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office. His family lives here. He knows the valley. Falls has seen the population grow 12% since 2000. He says the crime rate is growing faster than the county.
Definitely there has been an increase in crime in our valley and violent crime. We have a significant drug problem. In addition to that, there's mental health issues that are on the rise. We have inadequate jail space.
The key to fixing those problems, Falls says, is putting more deputies on the street to build a sense of trust between the community and the sheriff's office.
There's always a concern that there's an intrusion of government. I certainly want to put people at ease that we're going to be out there and be open and responsive.
Meanwhile, Sergi says Sheriff Winters is anything but open and responsive.
We are not a transparent agency. If you wanted to talk to the sheriff, to Winters, you can't talk to him. I plan to change that. We need to go out to the citizens in this community and find out what their concerns are.
Winters' opponents aren't the only ones who want change. Polls show Jackson County Sheriff's employees may as well. The Sheriff's Association took a poll of about 100 employees. 52% of them voted for Sergi, 29% for Falls, and 4% for Winters. I asked Sheriff Winters how it felt knowing his own employees might not vote for him.
At the end of the day, this is business to me. And I don't work for the employees of this agency. I work for the citizens of this county, and my employees are good people, and the reason they vote, it's a beautiful thing that we live in America and you can do so.
Besides the change in leadership styles, much of the focus of the election has been spent on how the sheriff spends his money. In particular, the money spent on helicopter operations. The helicopters are used in everything from search and rescue operations to marijuana eradication. This video from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. The county has a contract with Brim Aviation for $300,000 a year. Sergi says he would rather spend that money on hiring more deputies and adding jail staff. He calls the helicopter spending just downright wasteful.
You spend $225 on a FLIR system that's on a private helicopter. You spend $150,000 on a security system. Those are issues that we need to resolve and stop the wasteful spending.
However, Sheriff Winters says the county doesn't spend even close to the money in the contracts. He says in the last 3 years, the county has paid $458,000 for helicopter operations. 95% of that money, Winters says, has been reimbursed through federal agencies and grants. According to Winters, those grants have helped the sheriff's office remove more than $1 billion worth of marijuana from the county. At the end of the day, he says he doesn't care what his opponents think. It's his job to protect the county.
You know, this is our land. This is our federal property, our public property that people want to recreate in, and I'm going to protect that at all costs. I don't care what anyone says. As long as I'm sheriff, people are going to be able to go out and use the public lands in the United States of America.
I did fill out a public records request for the reimbursements made from federal agencies to Jackson County for the county's helicopter operations. However, those requests are standard and they do take time and they're not available quite yet. Covering your news, Whitney Clark, News 10.